5 weeks ago, I downloaded the Venezuelan opposition's data. I spent 5 weeks, almost 210 hours, 5 articles. This last one took me almost 50 hours. And what did I find? I found what appears like fraudulent ballots, tally sheets. This is why the Washington Post, the Associated Press, nor the Carter Center can verify the authenticity of the tally sheets provided by the opposition. One of the biggest issues with these tally sheets that no one is talking about is that they can't be certified without inked signatures. These signatures that the opposition is claiming are signatures on their tally sheets are actually digital signatures. They're put into the system that way when the election is done to certify that the counts on the tally sheet are valid. You're supposed to put an inked signature on there. Those were all forged. Those are all forged. And if you pause and zoom in on this second one, those are just a bunch of letters jumbled together. Those are not real names, not even close. These cannot be certified as valid tally sheets. This is what a completed tally sheet looks like. It has inked signature, digital signature, and a thumbprint, right? These were part of the opposition's data. Only 10% of those actually look like that. Some of these have the thumbprints, and on most of those thumbprints are right over the digital signature. Therefore, if they get signed later, it's almost impossible to verify. And this is what the vast majority of them look like. No inked signature means they're not certified. Additionally, people online are saying that if you scan the QR code, it verifies that these are actually valid tally sheets. It doesn't. All it does is generate a random number, and that first part of the number identifies the ballot number at the top. The second part of that number, which is followed by all commas, only validates the vote count by political party per candidate. Here I only showed Nicolas Maduro's because if I showed the whole thing, it wouldn't fit on the screen. But every candidate, there were 10 candidates, okay? 9 of those have done their own audits, including Maduro, and they turned them into the Supreme Court, and they all confirmed that Maduro won the election. The only party that is not confirming he won are the people with the fraudulent ballots on a website that's outside of the electoral system. Digging in even further, when you look at the metadata on all the images the opposition provides, their location is scrubbed. It shows all the information on there, no location data. All of that was removed. On top of that, they reduced every image to only 28% of quality. So every time you try to zoom in to read names, it starts to blur and it's almost impossible. And in my latest article, I have a video of opposition leader, the same opposition leader who led multiple coups, even called on Netanyahu to invade Venezuela, helped fund a private military contractor to train militants in Colombia and attempted a coup several years ago. In this video, she admits to a months-long effort creating a third-party website so that they can produce their own ballots, essentially creating their own electoral system outside of one of the most secure electoral systems in the world. Also in my article, you'll find this video where the UN ambassador from Venezuela to the United Nations, it's an hour long, and he shows tons of details that I didn't even include in my article that point to a coup using a fraudulent election. There's really no other way to look at this other than a failed coup. This is the same script the United States has used multiple times to try to overthrow the Venezuelan government. When Chavez was in power and when Maduro was in power. For the last 25 years, this tactic has been used no less than 5 times. And each time it failed, and each time the U.S. gets caught. This time, I caught them. I've asked the State Department and the White House about the data. I sent them my article. I told them I'm taking a week off. I'll be on here and I'll be on social media, but I gave them a week to respond. I'll let you know if they do.